Hello and welcome to Emirates Old Trafford, where we're joined in the studio by our Lancashire skipper, Keaton Jennings. And Keaton, the season's now finished. How are you? Have you had a chance to rest up and reflect?
Yeah, it's been a nice couple of weeks. It always is. That sort of back end of the season, start of October. Had the chance to go away, recharge the batteries a little bit, and obviously back in at a lovely ground. So yeah, look, it'll be an exciting winter ahead, I think.
Now, how's your assessment of the overall season been? Because we're sat here now with blue skies behind us, but we've not had a whole lot of that throughout the season.
Yeah, look, I think it's been a season of some really good cricket. In parts, we played superbly well. There was moments in games that went our way and that we forced to go our way as well. There was also moments where the game was heavily in our favour and it rained. But I suppose you try and look at the moments that you can control and the elements where you could have forced the pace. I think the one thing I am proud of is the guys played some really good cricket for a long, consistent period of time to get to 2 knockouts, to push on the top half of the table in the Chapple despite all the rain we had. I think we lost, it was over 1,000 overs in total in the Chapple. So look, frustrating in parts, but I think as a whole, really pleased with where the squad is, how the guys went about it, and the energy levels the guys gave, because it was a fantastic effort.
Well, you mentioned you can't control the rain, you can't control those factors, but only losing one match in a county championship is a statement in itself, really.
Yeah, 100%. And that game was a game where I think we tried to chase, 380, 390 in a day to try and win the game at Blackpool. So very easily you go about it completely differently and you think, well, let's just sort of shut up shop, let's go out through with a draw. But I think the mentality of this group of players is you want to try and win. And that's what the guys have done all the way through. They tried to find situations where we try and win the game. I know we had 10 draws during the season, which is really frustrating, and a lot of that isn't necessarily solely down to us. Some of it is, and the guys have been quite critical with themselves, how they want to try and improve, and the areas they need to improve. But as a whole, the guys have tried in every situation to come out on top, which I think is fantastic.
Well, when you look at consistency as well, and you mentioned reaching the knockout stages in the white ball cricket as well, consistency is the foundations that can go on to silverware, I guess. And when you look at season on season, if we keep making that, then it's building on building.
Yeah, I think we've been really consistent over the last sort of period of time. Ever since I joined the club in 2018, we've been there or thereabouts. Guys have competed. We're a big club with big aspirations, big dreams. And I don't think we should be afraid of that. We should embrace that. We should relish in the challenge of wanting to win silverware. We should talk about it, as the lads have started to do this year, which is brilliant. But like you say, that consistency in performance, that consistency in thought, and consistency in the way we do things, I think will hopefully aid the guys next year to really go about and win a trophy, which would be fantastic.
Now, a few of the lads will be leaving the team in Dane, Jonesy, Lammy and Parky. Anything you want to say on them departing? They've been brilliant players throughout their careers here at Lancs.
Yeah, look, I mean, there's loads you can say about them. They all fantastic people, fantastic cricketers, and they're going to be sorely missed in and around our environment. I think the last couple of years have shown that we've got a really closely knit group. So for those guys to leave, it does hurt. But it allows an opportunity for some of the other guys to come through as well. We sat after the season, we enjoyed a drink together in the change room, just the players, shared moments from all of their career, or all of their Lancs careers. And it was a really special moment where there was quite a lot of emotion shown, and showed quite a lot of love and care within that environment, that the guys recognised that they were a huge part of it, which I think is huge. So they're going to leave holes. And it's going to be a nice challenge to try and build. And like I said, it'll offer opportunity for other guys to fill those shoes, which has happened already. You got guys in young Bell, young Hurst, young Baldy, Malls. You got a load of Tommy Hartley. I mean, you got loads of youngsters. I feel fairly old saying that. Loads of youngsters coming into the environment, allowing fresh energy, fresh skills, and fresh eyes as well, which is quite nice. You mix that in with some older heads, and it makes quite a nice environment.
Well, I guess for the younger lads, it can be quite a young team, that this is the opportunity they have been waiting for, and they're probably looking forward to next season more than most.
Yeah, 100%. I think everybody within that squad is looking forward to it. I had a coffee with Wellesley yesterday or the day before. He's buzzing. Will Williams has rung me today wanting to go to the gym and get training ready. So trying to manage the older heads as well. Trying to, I think Boshy's not far off starting to hit some balls already. It's not even October, not even November yet. So guys are keen. Guys are keen to play. Guys are keen to try and improve. And it's just about managing energy levels all the way through. You want to make sure you start well, but make sure you finish well, because that championship and those competitions are won in September, not in April.
Yeah, absolutely spot on. Now, looking from an individual point of view, how was your first season as captain?
Yeah, interesting. Again, you're fighting with those frustrations of trying to force results at times. But I've loved it. It's an easy group to try and captain. It's an easy group to try and influence, because guys know their games. Guys are keen. There's no tough characters to try and sort of fight with and knock heads with, which is quite nice. Which I'm lucky in that sense. I think Dane created a fantastic environment that guys just want to be a part of and want to buy into. So I'm very lucky in that regard. And yeah, look, hopefully I can continue to perform and continue to drive the squad forward from a cultural point of view, from a performance point of view, and then ideally win some silverware.
Now, that's a really interesting aspect, because you mentioned the coffee with Wellesley, going to the gym with players and the stories in the changing room. A lot of people might think someone's appointed captain, they've got to lead on the pitch. But how much of it comes off the pitch and building, like we already have in the changing rooms, that good squad mentality?
Yeah, look, it's a huge amount. I mean, I know cricket at the end of the day is a job. Playing county cricket is a job. But we spend so much time away and with each other that those tensions in and around individuals can heighten quite quickly. So for guys to enjoy each other's time, enjoy each other's company, enjoy each other's success, I think is crucial. It's a game that failure is embedded within the game, and you have so many down days that if your teammate's having a good one, you can enjoy his success. The environment around the place feels really good, and guys buy in. It becomes a family feel. You don't want it to become an office job where you go in, you earn your money and you leave. You want it to be embedded as a part of you. You want guys to want to play at Lancashire because it's a fantastic place and guys are so close. You want guys to leave with knowing that they've added to the environment and knowing that it's been such an amazing journey for them at the club. So look, it's huge. Obviously performing on the field is essentially what you get paid to do. So you need to make sure your performance and your cricket is looked after as well. But I think as a captain or as a leader within the environment, I don't think you need to be captain, but I think the leaders within the environment have a crucial role in allowing a safe and happy dressing room, definitely.
Now, your performances on the pitch haven't been too bad either. Player of the Year in the one-day format. Are you pleased with picking up that award?
Yeah, look, brilliant. It's I've always said since I started, for me, personal accolades aren't a huge tick in the box. I think for me, you want to aid in winning games and winning trophies. I try and do that every time I stand on the field. I think everybody does that within the squad. You've got 20 odd guys that literally will dive around and dive on a fairly hard Old Trafford Square and just do it because they want to try and add to a win. So yeah, look, the fact that I can add a couple of runs to the board and hopefully a couple of decisions that maybe swing the game our way is fantastic. But at the end of the day, you've got 11 guys or 10 other guys on that field wanting to win, and that's how you get across the line.
Now, at the beginning of the season, or a little bit into it, you picked up the injury. How was that a little bit of a tricky period when you're balancing the captaincy of the side and leading the players, but then you have to pick up your own problem and focus on that mentally as well?
Yeah, it's probably a few sort of different pages in that. I think you, as a new captain, you want to be in and around the environment, you want to be leading the environment, you want to be performing, you want to be driving, I suppose, your quote unquote, your team forward. I'm quite a involved guy. I want to do that. And then you pick up an injury 3 or 4 weeks into that process that sends you out for what was meant to be 12 weeks. So I managed to scrape back in 9, which was ideal. But it's hard. You sit on the sideline, you're running around the field at lunchtime, you doing your sprints, you doing ice baths, you waking up early, you doing everything you can, but essentially you can't cheat time. You have to go through the process and take your medicine and just make sure you're ready, because if you come back a week early and you do the injury again, you effectively hampering the squad even more. So look, it was frustrating. Had some sleepless nights. You sit up watching some of the T20 games. You want to try and be involved and you want to try and do things, but at the end of the day, you've got to make sure your cricket and yourself is looked after, and then you can influence the team. So yeah, look, frustrating. Touch wood, hopefully next year we can stay injury free, and as a squad would be ideal, and then we go from there.
You can't cheat time. I really like that one. Now, a quick word on Chapple, because we know how big of a person he is and a character he is here at Lancashire. He'll be moving on from manager next season, but how has he been, not only for your career, but you mentioned the stories in the change room. I'm sure he's been a part of a lot of people's stories in there as well.
100%. Look, I mean, one of my first kind of games was against Chapple. Remember playing a game, and I think his first ball hit me on the thigh pad. He was a little bit quicker than I thought at a ripe old age of, I think it was 40 or 39 at the time. Fast forward a couple of years, and he was a big sort of factor in me moving to Lancashire and Old Trafford. It was the way he went about things that for me sort of drew me here. His wealth of knowledge, the way he sort of chatted to players, I think was fantastic. So look, he'll be a huge miss. He's passionate, he's driven, he's never accepting of any standard. He always wants more, wants better, and I think from a professional point of view, it's amazing. And he said at our end of season guys got together and we had a little sort of chat for Chap, and he said words to the effect of his phone's always on, and that was Chappie. He always wanted to try and make an influence on your career. So look, he'll be a miss, and I wish him every success in the next step and his next path he chooses.
Well, looking forward to the next season. It seems like a long, long way away now, but I'm sure it'll creep up very quick. What are the aims for the team? Is it to bring back silverware to Emirates Old Trafford?
I think that's always the aim, but I think you got 17 other counties with the same aim. You got everybody within the English system wanting to win championships, win the one-day comp, win the T20 comp. Everybody wants to play finals there. It's a full house at Edgbaston. It's what you want to do. You want to win roses, clashes, yeah. So everybody has the same dreams and aspirations. I think for me, it's I suppose a little bit more to what I said at the start of last season. It's making sure the lads are hungry, they are driven, and they are having fun. I'd love the lads to play good cricket all the way through, and let's see what happens. There's obviously moments in games that I think we can recognise maybe slightly quicker, and we can make decisions that hopefully allow us to win one or two more games sooner, and maybe that drives us up a table. But like I say, I want guys to be really hungry for success and be keen to talk about winning, and be keen to talk about winning the championship. And I'd love all the Red Rose members to be exactly the same. I want guys to have the expectation that we should be winning, and that's exactly what the lads will be doing come, I think, November the 13th, when our full day back in. The guys will be raring to go.
Amazing. Well, thank you very much for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Cheers,
and all the best for the future.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.